end with my incredible wife and children, but I was asked to speak instead about what I've done professionally, so I'll take the opportunity to share some of those moments with you. Let me begin by saying that I say with great passion and conviction that while there are many extraordinary law schools in this country, Brooklyn is certainly among them. And while there are many ways to get fine, quality legal education that is available to you, those of you who are students and alumni as well could not have made a better choice. One thing we know about Brooklyn Law School, and has always been the case, it just doesn't teach you about the law. It prepares you to practice the law. When I came out of the service after graduating from law school but not yet admitted to the bar, I had a family, and I applied for jobs because I didn't know what life would be like when I took my uniform off. And the job that was offered to me was held as a matter of federal law, and that job happened to be, for me, a job. It was in the U.S. Department of Labor. I showed up that very first day, tall, thin, short hair, and this was a tumultuous time for this country. The Vietnam War was raging. Not everyone agreed on what we should be doing or what we had been doing. I walked into my new office to meet my new boss. And her name was Louise F. I spare her memory the notoriety of revealing her last name. And she said, I didn't hire you. I particularly want you here. But you are here, so you're going to go down that hallway into that office. There's a desk facing a wall, and that's where you're going to sit until I call you. I didn't have much choice. I did exactly as I was told. And within moments, the phone rang. And she said, I want you to go to the men's room and bring me Howard Feinschreiber. I said, really? What do you want me to do? She said, I just told you. Do it. Well, I left my desk. I walked down the hallway to the men's room in this federal office building, and I almost went in. And I stopped. And I said, I can't do this. I went back to her office, and I said, Mrs. F., if that was a test, I failed. Did you really want me to do that? And she said, yes, where's Mr. Feinschreiber? I said, I didn't go to get him. She said, in that case, go back to your desk. I said, no, in that case, I'll quit. And I did. I had a family, but I couldn't do this. And as I'm walking out, get my small briefcase and down the hallway, and met a fellow I had seen earlier that day in my orientation, a tall, elegant African-American fellow named James Jones. And he said, where are you going, young fellow? And I said, well, I had a terrible experience, I just quit. He said, slow down, what happened? And I told him, and he said, you come with me. We're going to start the Civil Rights Division today. And we did. And James Jones became my mentor. He was in charge of the Civil Rights Division at the U.S. Department of Labor, and I became his first hire. He became a good friend. I eventually took his job. He became a professor of employment law in Wisconsin. And that's how my career started. And I say to you, as I'll tell you more about this, that you learn here, through your preparation, if you work hard enough, as Ken reminded you to do, is to believe in yourself. Believe in the quality of the preparation you have received, and believe in yourself, and the rest will follow. Because if you believe in yourself, your clients will believe in you. If you trust yourself, your clients will trust you. Well, the story continues. About a year later, I'm now the department's counsel for civil rights, working for my good friend and mentor, Mr. Jones. We're off to Chicago because we're integrating the construction trades around the country. We're off to the U.S. Supreme Court to defend the constitutionality of the so-called Philadelphia Plan quotas in the construction trades. But this particular plan was Chicago. Mayor Daley didn't like Richard Nixon very much, and he wasn't going to give us protection to our public hearings at the Customs House. Well, We go in to have the hearing, and we're confronted by an army of hard hats looking for trouble, and they find it. Things go awry pretty quickly. We retreat, and we suspend the hearings. Get back to our hotel that evening. I'm on the job about a year. I'm the youngest person in the room by a generation. All these older men and women were talking about what happened during the day. Suddenly an entourage arrives from Washington. One fellow's clearly the leader. He wants to know who embarrassed President Richard Nixon by suspending a hearing in the city of Chicago. And they all pointed to me. He walked over to me and he said, "Did you do this?" I said, "Well, yes, I did." He said, "Why?" I said, "Because people were getting hurt and there's no reason for that. Let's regroup, call U.S. Marshals, get protection, and do this safely and responsibly." He said, "Where'd you go to law school?" I said, "Brooklyn." And then with a wry smile, he said, "I thought so." That was Leonard Garment, one of our most coveted alumni, counsel to Richard Nixon. And the hearings went forward the next day, and quite peacefully. While in Washington, I met a good friend, and about the time the Watergate scandals were breaking, he said to me, "It's time to leave Washington." And through his assistance, I came to New York and became the labor counsel for Rockefeller family. For 1 year, because of my government grade, I couldn't represent anyone with an interest adverse to the federal government. So I couldn't make appearances in significant cases. So I became a family consigliere. While there, I was appointed to become the general counsel of the new Racing and Wagering Board. We started the lottery and off-track betting. And I became the New York State Consumer Protection Director. And after that, I went into private practice, where I've been all these years. I say to you again, that nothing could prepare you better if you want to practice law, not just study law, but the kind of education that you get here. And as you heard from others, your success, and many of you have achieved it, I know, depends upon whether you get your clients to believe they can trust the futures of their companies, the futures of their careers, and sometimes their personal lives, to your very capable hands. It's not about your grades. It's about whether you've learned to have confidence in your ability to see things through to the end. And you've learned one thing here as well: no shortcuts. You treat every case like it's the most important case you've got, every client like it's the most important client you will ever have. And then if you're really lucky, you surround yourself with people just like you, who want to do their best every day, and want to tell their clients and their prospective clients that they can believe in them, because they believe so strongly in themselves. So I thank you all for this great honor, and for allowing me to join you this very special evening. Thank you.